The Fight Hub TV, we're here with Kambosos. What do you think of the fight, the outcome so far? I mean, Jake Paul,
Yeah,
it was
man,
an overhand right.
Look, I had two minds of that fight. I thought Jake, if he got him early, he'll get him. But if it went deeper, Ben Askren could obviously use his combat experience. But man, he looked good. You got to give it to him. I think he's got more people interested now. They want to say, okay, what's next? Who's he going to fight next? So good on him, man. Good win, good right hand. I was there ringside. I saw it clean. I was right there. I was next to his whole. He had all his family and obviously friends, and they were pumped, man. It's cool.
They looked pumped, but there's a lot of animosity with him. Does he really deserve to be in the ring? Does he really deserve the big fights? Do you think the next fights he needs to take bigger steps, like bigger fighters?
Look, they got a plan, and what they're doing at the moment, and they're bringing in different names from around the world, from different, obviously, the UFC, like Ben Askren. They got a plan. They're doing their thing. The guy's got a huge following. He's bringing so many eyes to the sport. So he should have the way he wants to do it, and the way they're doing it is fine.
So what do you say about Triller? Nobody has complaints. The fighters, the commentators, everybody's really happy with Triller right now. I think everybody's in the honeymoon phase, right?
Yeah. Triller is doing a fantastic job, and obviously they showcased tonight, a massive event. And look, June 5th is going to be even bigger because it's the Undisputed Championship on the line. It's a real fight, with two young, hungry guys that are ready to go at each other.
You're in training camp. You've been in training. You started a little bit earlier, probably like 2 months ago.
I started as soon as I beat Lee Selby in London. The next day, obviously, training camp was ready. But I trained that night. I done a light session that night just to loosen up the body after 12 rounds.
The adrenaline hits you. You're like,
the next day we started, man. I started camp. I went to the gym downstairs. I started my weights, and I haven't stopped. I have not stopped. I've been full focus because I knew this fight was going to happen. Even that there was no duet on the table at that stage, I knew that it was going to happen. I saw it in my head. And like I'm saying, I'm going to win this fight and win all these belts. And it's there.
Confidence is the key. It's the big key.
Confidence, but we've seen the way the whole press conference went. We saw tonight. Obviously, me and Lopez had a few things outside of the ring as well. And man, I'm breaking this kid bit by bit. I've never seen him react like this. And man, after yesterday's press conference, I was 1-0, but after tonight, I'm up 5-0.
Let's talk about the press conference. Let's talk about today. I was watching it. Your verbal altercations, throwing verbal jabs. Are y'all getting to a point where I'm really annoyed of him right now? Is that what y'all both, seeing of each other? How y'all feel each other right now? Or is it just part of the game? Or part of the game of boxing is, being prepared, but it's also mentally. Mentally you have to be fully up there.
Yeah, look, I never get annoyed. I'm cool, calm, collected. As you saw yesterday in the press conference, he got annoyed, he got frustrated, he took his shirt off. Who told him to take his shirt off? He took his shirt off and he had all these dots all over his body. Looked like a pepperoni pizza. What I mean? So I know that's cupping. I know what it is. But if you're going to do cupping, don't take your shirt off. But this is the way I am. My confidence, he can see the confidence. He can see I'm coming to fight. I've got no fear of this guy. I've got no fear of this kid. I don't even call him a guy, the way he carries on. Everything he says is, it doesn't make sense. It's like he's just trying to fluke it. But everything I say is pinpoint. And man, I've had everyone, so many people in the world just say, man, you mentally got him. He's already, you're under his skin already. So I'm living in his head rent free already.
You were just walking next to a heavyweight icon, Evander Holyfield, who's going to fight in the undercard. How does that feel? Because, I'm sure you never dreamed of having a heavyweight icon in the undercard. How does that,
Oh, look, Evander, I've got to know Evander pretty well. We flew on the private jet from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, and obviously Vegas to Miami. And I just sat down and, I was in awe of him because I'm such a big fan. Mm-hmm. And to be on the private jet to listen to him, I literally just asked him a million questions, just let him, talk, because he's a legend of the sport. and now for him to be fighting as the support him off Undisputed Championship, it's unbelievable. But he's a legend of the sport, and you got to respect that.
Definitely, I spoke with him earlier, and he's just excited to come back to the ring. He's nearly almost hitting 50, 60 years old, and I told him, you could probably take the show. The main event and the co-main event is people are gonna tune in,
Man,
and
this is gonna be huge. And
in Miami with people,
Miami, Marlon Park, it's gonna be massive, man. The musicians they're gonna have, the influencers, all the different, famous people, sporting stars, legends of the sport, they're all coming to one. And that just creates so many eyes on the sport. It's fantastic.
Kambosos, thank you so much for your time speaking with Fight Hub TV. We'll keep in touch, and wish you the best of luck in training camp and on coming June 5th as well. Okay, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.